different prep lists of produce prep that's the produce that be isolated from everything else.
Hey guys, Mr. Knife Fanatic here. Today we have the Kikuichi Swedish Warikomi Damascus 240mm Gyuto. This knife is very beautifully finished, has an excellent grind, and is actually one of the thinnest knives on the website. So as usual, here's the specs and cutting performance. At the core we have AEBL steel, which is also known as Sandvik 13C26. This is developed for razor blades, has extremely low burr formation, just a joy to sharpen, and actually takes among the finest edges in the kitchen knife world, along with white #1. Really good stuff, excellent corrosion resistance, one of our favorite steels to have in kitchen knives. 22-layer Warikomi Damascus Finish means that this is 22 layers thick on each side of folded steel, which is a nickel steel and a stainless steel folded. And then it is etched to bring out this beautiful pattern. It's a very unique one. I really haven't seen many like it. If you can see, I'm reflecting back at the camera quite well, so you can tell it's a really, really shiny finish. But also the nice wavy pattern here, it is just beautiful. I mean, really, really nice. And a Warikomi means that it is completely encased over the top here, which really doesn't matter as much, being that this is a stainless core. Really that helps more or less protect a carbon core if you had a carbon knife. But I think it helps with shock absorption a little bit more myself. That's splitting hairs though, so let's move on. We have the D-shaped handle, which is rosewood, ebony ferrule. Some left-hand users actually don't have a problem with this, even though this is tapered for a right-hand user. Some lefties say that this is okay. If it is a problem for you, you can simply have this handle removed and get another handle put on, as it is a 50-50 ground knife. It'd be perfect for any user, really. Just see, we may have some options available for you. Blade length is actually 247 on the edge, a little bit longer than advertised, 240 advertised. Nothing wrong with that. And 50 millimeters tall is just a hair shy over 50 millimeters. Shy over, it'd be shy under a hair over 50 millimeters. And I can show you there, that's actually considered medium height for a 240. Actually, that's right on the button for most users. I wouldn't call it tall, I'm not calling it short. Thickness, 1.9, it's really 1.87. We've pulled some calipers out on it. This is an extremely thin knife. Really doesn't have any distal taper at all, it's completely flat. A lot of these Damascus knives are actually finished off of a Damascus billet, and they probably finished the entire deal first here before it was put into there. So it's a little bit different than most of the hand-hammered knives that we see these days. Extremely thin though, and the only distal taper that you really get out of the blade is up here towards the tip. That's a very good thing though on a knife that's under 2 millimeters. 2 millimeters is really kind of your benchmark, so to speak, for knives that are just really getting so thin that they have flex to them. But you really can press pretty hard and get a little flex out of it. There is a minimal flex to this knife. It has a very, very good feel to it. Has a lot of backbone, yet it will flex. Kind of like a Konosuke HD. Really similar as far as flexibility goes. 157 grams for the weight. That is definitely lightweight, very lightweight. There are lighter knives on the market. Not many though. This is one of the lightest ones you're going to find. Being that it is a 240, I expect it to be blade heavy regardless of weight, and you can see it's definitely very blade heavy, which is great. On a knife this light, you do want the extra chopping power. That's going to be in front of your pinch grip too, so it will be blade heavy even in a pinch, which is excellent. This thing is so light, I can tell you right now, in a pinch grip, and wow, nimble is the first thing that comes to mind. And has enough backbone to it also that you really feel like you could get down good with this. We'll see how it performs in a second. The 50-50 convex grind on it is done very thin. This is a laser grind, extremely thin behind the edge. Like I said before, this represents one of the thinnest knives on the website. There are, I would say, the 3 thinnest at the moment off the top of my head are the Richmond Kohetsu, which just came out, this knife, and a Swisson Inox Hanyaki. The Hanyakis are probably the thinnest knives on the website. This is the thinnest clad knife that I've picked up, so very thin. Now there are other knives that are just as thin, if not a hair thinner behind the edge than this, but basically as thin as you're going to get behind the edge. So a laser knife should perform like a laser, right? Here we go, guys. Easy release there. This should not really lift my finger up at all when I go through because it's so thin. It should just flip right on through. So. It does flip right on through. Something I noticed that this does have a feeling of some more backbone to it. It's actually good for holding it stiff in the cuts. Very, very good. See, I stuck a little bit there. I actually sharpened this up to a 2000 grit edge, which is not quite as sharp as I normally use, but I just wanted to more or less focus on how the grind performs and not the edge itself. So. It performs very well, as to be expected of a knife this thin. We're going to go ahead and blast through the other half of this onion at higher speed. This is a very tight onion, by the way. One of these extra hard onions, so this should be a good test. Just testing food penetration here. I haven't cut anything in a couple of days, mind you, so let's see here. Kind of get rid of this here. You know what I'm missing today? A towel. There we go. So here we go, guys. Should make a little bit of a mess, actually. Sometimes on your horizontal cuts, I do more horizontal cuts than are needed, and they overlap and the onion will fall apart. That's more user error there. But very nice. This is a very stiff feeling knife. There's something about it I can't get over for how thin it is and the feel to it. There's a different feel about this knife. Generally, when you start to get this thin, you lose that quality feeling. I can't really. It's a bit of an abstract term again. Yes, I love to use abstract terms. But when a knife gets really, really light, under 100, say under 160 grams or so, it starts to feel, you know, maybe flimsy to some users, or maybe just a little too thin overall, and starts to feel a little, you know, a little too much flex to it. This thing really remains, or retains its integrity and its quality feel at this light weight, which is really good. Something different. It feels, it definitely has a unique feel compared to a lot of other knives I've tried. Here we are. Now we're going to check out the profile a couple of ways here for you on this bell pepper real quick. Extremely long flat spot here, and then a complete gentle sweep. And kind of have a bit of a sweet spot there at the tip. I'm not really going to concentrate on that during the video, but this thing is definitely a very long feeling knife. It is 247 on the edge, a little longer than your average 240, and you feel it a little bit. It definitely feels a little bit longer in a way. But excellent rocking motion. I'll back off there for you. Now that feels really good. I like this profile a lot for rocking. This is a superior rocker. Feels very nice. And of course we will chop. This is going to chop excellent with that much flat board contact. Push cuts are going to be, you know, real easy. And the knife is light enough that you can chop at high speed with just wrist power. Excellent, of course. Very nice. Something that you may sacrifice on prettier blades, which we don't have that many on chef knives to go anymore, but you sacrifice performance when you go towards prettier blades here and there. This definitely does not sacrifice. This excels in performance with the thinness of the knife, and hardness of this steel is quite excellent, I will say. I sharpened this up a little bit, as I said before, and the wear resistance was very good. I noticed I did not mark down Rockwell on the paper earlier. They say this is 60 Rockwell on the site. I will say 60 to 61. It had very good wear resistance for AEBL. So, can't really comment anymore on the edge life until we beat this edge up a little bit more. Let's see. I'm going to slam the edge on the board purposely hard. Normally that would kill an AEBL edge. No, it wouldn't kill it, I'd say, but damage it some. And no, hasn't rolled at all. Definitely very good heat treat to this stuff. I do like Kikuichi's heat treats very much. So, here we go. And we'll do a little carrot to wrap the video up with. And we'll try a little mini brunoise. I haven't done this one in months, so we cut the top of it off. We'll show you food penetration on carrot. Oh. Yep. Very good, thrown through. The grind on this knife is exceptional. The finish is exceptional. Those are two things that definitely stand out. And the performance, of course, is to be expected. Very, very good. Oops, stuck into the board there. The steering. And this is where this stiff spine is going to help you out as in steering when you're trying to do cuts like this on a hard ingredient that tend to want to roll your knife off. So there we go. Wow. And actually it's really nice that it really held it exceptionally straight. That means that the grind was done on both sides very even. So steering is exceptionally good. Wow. Okay. All right. On the harder ingredients here, this is starting to shine. As you can see, I was not really doing a whole lot through the soft ingredients, but I think it's really starting to show here. I will grab a potato out of the pantry real fast just to go ahead and show you one more ingredient, because I do want to have a harder ingredient on the board. But excellent steering on this knife. Great for precision work. You know, a knife this beautiful, you think maybe good for just a gift idea, but I can guarantee you any chef would appreciate that knife. Let's see here. We will get a potato. I'm just going to do a few cuts for you here real fast and wrap the video up. Oh, a little bit of suction to it. I can tell you something there. Not terrible sticking actually to food release, considering how thin I'm cutting these little slices. And by the way, yes, that is extremely thin. It's not sticking to the blade terribly bad. Let's see how we do through this. The thinner that you grind a knife, the more you're going to lose in convexing, which means you're going to lose non-stick. So under 2 millimeters and keeping non-stick is a big thing. Not bad at all. Definitely not bad for a knife that this thin. You can see most everything released off fine. Minimal sticking when it gets wet. That's to be expected of a blade this thin. I actually expected it to stick worse, but the cladding, if you look at it a little bit, there is a nice drop off in the face here. Let's clean it up. You can see it in the light actually on the camera. There we go. If you see this line right here, that's a nice drop off of the convex, and that's what helping with all that good food release that we just had. So you're able to maintain that thinness and not have too sticky of a blade. Excellent, beautiful laser. This knife had a lot of hype around it and definitely lives up to a lot of that hype. So guys, thank you for watching. Stay tuned and stay sharp.